Kitty, the whole world is watching. The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching, Kitty. The whole world is watching. Everybody's watching, Kitty. The whole world is watching. Kitty. Don't test me. The whole world is watching.
Turned A-list drug supplier.
An entry of plea.
Not guilty.
King has a very good job, of course, being charged with murder. I have never in my life felt such pressure and such fear.
The state of Maine is warmer than we are. I was telling Linda that I saw a really good movie last night about a werewolf, and it was actually the screenplay that I was reading that I wrote called Grace, aka Werevlog. I read it, all these sections of it last night, and I thought I saw the movie. I saw it in my head. There's a C-130. It holds about 97 paratroopers. It's got turboprop propellers. Those propellers can move, so they can lean back and forth. It also is a gunship. They use it as a gunship. So they can fly over a village and just completely annihilate it. They can rescue people in the ocean with that. It's Navy. And it's Blue Angels. For some reason, when I was reading Grace, aka Werevlog, I was thinking about Nicholson. I think it's because my voice, because I've been coughing. You don't ever hear me coughing because I don't show it, or I don't record it. Neither of us. But it kind of, it's like I can do this Jack Nicholson like really good. They've been bouncing radar beams off the moon. You know what I mean, honey? You know what I mean. You know, it sounds just like it. I've got birds.
Ooh, look at the yellowhead. That's only one, too, with the yellowhead.
Yeah, some of them look like robins. Wait till they get a load of me, birdie. Man, it's cold. Yeah, we're dealing with 27 degrees. This is Texas, Walmart.
Tortillas. And no cheese.
The ghost has not arrived. There, whoop. Man, I'm telling you what. You're a referee on set, man. But, you know, I like, what's it called? Organic blocking. There it is. I call it organic blocking. She's never right there. She's ding, ding, ding. Where the copyright can seep in. Got it. Germaphobe. Organic blocking. That's what I'm going to call it, so I can blah, blah, blah. Organic blocking Linda. That's her name. Just forget about the blocking, you know what I mean? It's like doing a wild play. Guys, we're going to do the play, but no blocking. Just make it up as you go. Probably a good decision. Look at all those birds. A lot of them were right there. And they moved location. Imagine if you're trying to just find one of those birds. One of them. Organic blocking Linda. All right, guys, Kirk Cameron, that's where he's showing. That's the Birdville Baptist Church. And he's supposed to be speaking there, or maybe he already has. It's advertised on Facebook. Tickets were available. I don't know when it happened. I wanted to see it, but he's quite the warrior. So he taught me that Christmas, to say Merry Christmas, is a war cry. Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! But, you know, he was meaning that people say it, you know, Merry Christmas. But it's really a war cry. Because we're, you know, behind enemy lines. I wanted to see it, but unfortunately I wasn't able to. Kirk Cameron would have been, like, great. I love the whole Kirk Cameron scene. And, of course, Sherwood Pictures. Sherwood Pictures is with the self-made filmmaker screenwriter. He made these movies. One was called Flywheel, and he gave them out to Blockbuster and VHS tape back in the day. Kendrick, yeah, the Kendrick people. The Sherwood, they're in Sherwood, Georgia, or the Sherwood Baptist, I believe, Georgia. He made a big dent in Hollywood. He did War Room alone made like $50 million in one weekend. But I don't know, he's been quiet lately. He's done some sports films that were faith-based. Alex Kendrick. I met some of his people. But Kirk Cameron, is it Kirk Cameron? It's Kirk Cameron, right? Sweetie?
I forget who.
Yeah, Kirk Cameron. He was it Facts of Life? No, it wasn't Facts of Life. It was Growing Pains.
Yes. Oh, I'm thinking of Kurt Russell.
No. Kurt Russell's a different guy.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell was Death Proof. This is Kirk Cameron. He did. He's done a lot of stuff. He was in Fireproof. Alec Kendrick did Fireproof. But anyway, he was going to that church to give a speech. So I don't know what it was about, but I guess it was about family and faith and everything. And I do appreciate it too. both of us do, right, sweetie?
Yes.
Because we're lovers of Jesus. All right, for Roadie, we're out of Georgia, but we're in Texas right now. Guidance starting. Remember, I said the show would change a little bit. 5.5 miles. It's a 15-minute trek. We will arrive at 6:13 p.m. On the road still. That was ice, so not too bad. I skipped yesterday and just worked on the screenplay and finalized the screenplay. It's close to perfect. I can sense it. You know, you can sense when something's close to perfect, but I will not print it until it's perfect. I will not print it until I feel comfortable that if I had a cast of actors, especially professional actors like Bradley Cooper or anybody, that would show up and sit down, that I'd be able to read it and it would be understandable. It doesn't have to be MLA format. It doesn't have to be Chaucer or even Quentin Tarantino, but it has to be understandable. Meaning, horse staple is different than horse stable. So I don't want to have to, cross this out. Oh, sorry guys. I don't want to have to do that during a reading. I want everything to be perfect. And then I want the dialogue to, I'll have to go through because I know I'm going to be, listen, I was crying, laughing at the dialogue to the point where like, no, I'm leaving this in there. Because it is incredibly cheesy dialogue. But I like it. I like how cheesy the dialogue is. There are some good moments. But it's a little, Hollywood werewolf movie. It's not Wolf with Jack Nicholson, which I forgot about that one. That's with Michelle Pfeiffer. It's not that for sure. It's not really American Werewolf in London, but it kind of tries to be. I remember Landis that did that. He almost went in for manslaughter because he was doing a Twilight Zone movie. He was guiding the helicopter from a distance. So he was on a radio talking to the helicopter pilot, and they were like over a swamp area, almost kind of like a shallow pond or something, or like a lake or something. And he was the main actor. I don't know his name. I should know his name. But he was running through this water, this lake or this pond, this shallow pond, as if it was Vietnam. And he had these two Asian kids with him as, he's saving them. The chopper malfunctioned and the blades lowered inward and killed the kids, and the actor died, and the two children died. Landis had to go to court and they saw it as mechanical failure. That could be a back thing, meaning an underlining subtext for the scene when the car crashes into the house and they claim mechanical failure. And Bob Balaban, who I want to play Robert Billings, would be perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect for the social worker if he could do it. I know he's older. I did put elderly today on the casting option list. So casting option list for Grace, aka Werevlog, hopefully to be a major motion picture, a screenplay, is posted on the Facebook. So each character, or the main characters, the important characters, and I have to go back to look at that because there's a lot of other characters I didn't mention. I didn't mention Samsung. Samson is he's called the Samson. He is actually the religious fighter. He's the Christian fighter that Grace actually takes down. And it's kind of mad at him for putting the tattoo of Jesus on him. He doesn't say anything. It's just a look. He sneers. Because we don't know Grace's heart. We don't know Grace's faith. You don't know anybody's faith. They don't have to talk about it. Nobody has to talk about their faith, and they can go straight to heaven. You don't have to be evangelical. You can be non-evangelical, even with your family, and you can still go to heaven. It's good to be evangelical, but it does not say in the Bible that you have to be evangelical to go to heaven. You don't have to talk about it. So we don't know the Apache fighter's faith, but we know his name is Grace. So that's a hint. Also, his last name is Lippin. It can also be pronounced Lippon. That's something that's got to be decided. Now listen, I'm the type of actor that was always corrected by other actors. They'd say Lippon. I'd say, okay. But when I worked with Pilgrim's Progress people, which is the Puritan Productions, when I worked with them and there was a correction that needed to be made, they allowed me to use Apollyon rather than Apollyon. They allowed me to use Apollyon.
He's 3 years old, born on this day in Urbana, Illinois, playing his violin with the Berlin Philharmonic, Brahms's Violin Concerto in D. This is WRR-FM and HD1 Dallas-Fort Worth. Thanks for tuning into the home stretch this afternoon. Still on the way, we'll hear Mozart's first piano sonata. We'll hear Yo-Yo Ma play a concerto by Edouard Lalo. And we'll open this hour with the Galante from Enrique Granados'
All right, so going in with a roadie. If you live in a cave and you don't know what roadie is, it's basically they do transports for a lot of Home Depot. It can be anything, wood to cat litter, I don't even know. But they only give the dimension and they only give the weight. And if you got one of these things, you could do about $100 a day or more, maybe $200. If you got one of those things, or a regular economy size car, you're gonna struggle. All right, so when you're doing a roadie and you come into a Home Depot, the best thing is just go over to returns. They're gonna be in the far left or far right. They'll guide you to the next step. Some signature stuff, paperwork, and then an item. Turns out it's the other way. It just says pro or something. Turns out it is the right way, so actually it's pickup. It just looked weird when I got there. Let's check out. Behind it is pickup, which is order pickup. There it is, order pickup and returns. All right, so when you're doing it, you're basically kind of like a customer. You just wait in line, and then you go to pick up or returns, and then you give them a code.
Pero me dice que tiene otra, ¿correcto? Sí, aquí tiene. Necesito ese, ahorita déjenme ver primero, antes de irnos para allá. No sé dónde está estacionado. Acá en medio. Ok, sí, vamos a necesitar que se vaya para allá, pero primero voy a checar aquí antes de, porque a veces mueran las cosas de allá atrás. ¿Cuál es la otra orden?
Sometimes it helps if you get one of these. Sometimes you can use a roller, flat roller. They'll let you have one of those if you want to use it. Excuse me, sir. I'm going to be right beside you. I do appreciate it. Oh, sorry about that. Thank you so much. All right, so they have to do paperwork, so they'll print it from that screen. They don't usually have to sign it out, but they print it anyway, and those are the items. And the lady over there asked me, "Oh, you having fun?" And I said, "You having fun?" She goes, "No." I'm like, "Oh, you get it, Woodstock."
Unprocess it is to call our IT.
Okay.
Unprocess.
So what do I have to do on my end?
Just hold tight. We'll figure it out.
Okay, what am I waiting on?
Well, we're waiting on paperwork, right? That's what you need? You asked for paperwork.
Paperwork.
Yeah.
So that's what they need, right?
Right.
Perfect. And that's those are the items? Thank you. Yeah, you too. No problem. All right, so they basically just printed off the screen. I overheard the guy talk about it. He says that they don't have to sign out the order. So they're basically just printing the order off the screen. That way the customer has some type of paperwork. But there are 3 items. So these things are important because if you don't have any paper trail, it's like, well, where's the paper trail, you know? They took them like 20 minutes. They're just standing there. And then whenever they had the screen up, they just hit the print thing. They printed one which they had a copy of this, which I'm gonna look at in a minute. And they had a copy of this. But I heard him say, or I heard someone say, "Oh, you don't have to sign it out. Just print it right off the screen." It took him 20 minutes to do that. He's like, "Oh, here you go, sir." I was like, "Thank you." And she goes, "Oh, sorry about the wait." But I did tell her whenever she was like, "Oh, you having fun?" I said, "Well, you know, this isn't, you know, are you having fun?" She goes, "No." So does it look like I'm having fun? And then I said Woodstock, basically, you know. So it's like nose ring and all this stuff, you know. But you know, I mean, 20 minutes is looking at a screen. Get a break. It's like, what are they working with? My Dell, you know, my 2017 Dell with window problems. You're just looking at the screen, like. Ugh. I frankly don't care what the paperwork says as long as there's some kind of paperwork that they printed. So it's not like a novel that they're printed or any poetry, so it should work. Probably has a code number on it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it up here, stick it in there, or stick it in the side, leave the 3 items at the door. All right, I put the address in like several times. And this is getting kind of crazy because it's not reading it on this. All right. I found an address that's near it. So we're gonna use this, and here we go. 26.2, 7:09 a.m. It will take 32 minutes. Slipping. Okay, we're good. Slipping. All right, I think we're good. Sorry, there's some slippery ice.